My wife wanted strawberries to grow this year, so I fixed up this corner of the back garden. I started by clearing away these flowers that had started years ago, and I know it's the wrong time to transplant them, but I go ahead and set them into a bucket of water here, and I will take care of those later. Now, the first thing to do was to clear the space. It's pretty compacted, so I used the little rototiller here with the multi-head tool by Ego to clear out all of the debris, get that broken up and raked out. Then I used my wire mesh here in just a second to start creating a basket in this area. Now, this is an idea that I've had for quite some time that as a way to counteract all of the rodents that we have in this area, it would be a good idea to work in the defensive and set up the area where we have these berries growing in a way that would protect the berries from any rodents that might come up underneath in a burrowing manner. I've done this on the other garden in a different way, and it was very successful. The same material. So here it just created a basket on one side and essentially tied that wire mesh directly to the fence with baling wire. This will be something I can remove easily later on. And then I use that baling wire to stitch these pieces of wire mesh together. The wire mesh is half-inch gaps, so the worms shouldn't have any issues coming in and out of there, but moles and rodents and, the groundhog won't be coming up underneath anyways. It's an 8-inch to 10-inch lift on the sides, and I decided not to use hard wood as a raised bed might have, for example. Primarily because these strawberry bushes or plants will be there for a long time, and those wooden baskets essentially will break down more quickly than this metal stuff will. I'm raking out the soil on the inside. That's the darkest soil our yard has, which you can tell is not very dark. But here I am surrounding it with wood chips that are raw arborist chips I got from Chip Drop. If you're not familiar with Chip Drop, they're a service, great stuff. I'll put some more information about them in the description, but I'm not sponsored by them. Now, I was thinking here that I could create some paths in the actual gardening area so we're not reaching over the plants or stepping on usable soil. And so I went ahead and cleared those paths down to the wire mesh and went ahead and put in some wood mulch chips there to create those paths. The wood mulch will act as a moisture sink as well, kind of like a swale to hold moisture and release it. And that'll be helpful later on. And then eventually it'll break down in probably about 5 to 6 years and turn into soil itself. It's a pretty good setup, and I still don't know how to cover those berries, but I'm assuming we're going to do bird nests. Let me know your ideas in the comments.